What's up, guys? So I'm here today with a new series where I'm interviewing, top entrepreneurs, CEOs, businessmen here in the Utah area, and we're just going to be working out. We're going to be talking about business, ask them a little bit more about how they got started and just their path in life in general. Let's get to it. So today I have Kenneth Boggs. He is the top fashion designer for Utah right now, and he's expanding so much, and I'm excited to speak to him and get to know a little bit more about how he got started and just his overall experience. He's a unique person and brings a lot to the table, and I'm excited to talk with him today. What's up, my man?
Hey, brother. Appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, fam.
Glad to have you here.
Oh, man. Appreciate it always, man.
You ready to work out?
Yeah, man. Let's get some work in, man.
We'll do a full upper body day, so we'll do some pulls. But yeah, man, I'm excited to chat.
Oh, man, let's make it happen, brother.
All right.
Cool. Let's do it.
All right, man. So while you're doing this, what got you started into business? What inspires you to own your own business and just jump into the entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, man.
You're probably tired right now.
Yeah, man. Honestly, one of the biggest culture shocks when I moved to Utah, it was when I saw a father with his son and people were married, but the most important thing was entrepreneurship. And one of the things I noticed that families run the world. So I wanted to step into that world, just to see what it's like to be my own boss. Yeah. So it worked out pretty good.
But man, I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
So what challenges did you have going through the process, right? Obviously you wanted to start your own business. You got into, maybe it was the fashion game at first or it was a different idea, but what are some challenges you had from the very beginning and even up until this point?
I think one of the biggest challenges I had was not keeping the promises that I made to myself. Because once things get hard, people just run away from it. And so once I realized that, things I was fearing, I knew that that was the right way to excel in the business world. And so as far as the designing and stuff like that behind it, I had that down to a T. Because I grew up listening to Motown music. That's where I get a lot of my inspiration from. So I want to be like David Ruffin from the Temptations.
Wow.
Yeah. My grandmother, when she taught me how to sew when I was 12, I put in that 10,000 hours in at an early age. And so it just came natural to me or whatnot.
What was a point where you were getting started, maybe you might have seen some progress or you didn't see progress and you thought of giving up, and what kept you going during those moments?
When your back is against the wall, that changes everything because, in the corporate world, I realized something that I was in LA and I was looking at the 9-to-5 route, right? How everything works out. 90% of Americans suffer from depression. And I'll never forget this, my grandmother, she's a very devout Christian. And so she was like, hey KB, can you read this scripture out of Job, right? True story, true story, it's so funny. And I'm reading everything what Job went through, right? Getting his butt kicked in, whole 9 yards. And it blew my mind that, in the Bible we call it Job, but in society we call it Job.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. And so when I realized that I didn't want to go the 9-to-5 route.
Struggle.
Yeah, because I wanted my freedom at the same time. I wanted to run concurrent. And so one thing about being an entrepreneur, the clock is different, right? So when you work a 9-to-5, you're trading in your time in for money. But with my company, it works for itself. So it goes counterclockwise. I get my time back. It works for me. And one of your greatest employees is money.
But now, as I'm doing this though, I do want to learn a bit more about when you got here, right? You saw these examples in front of you. You see family. Obviously, it's a different dynamic than what you're used to.
Yeah.
How did you assimilate, or did you assimilate in this culture? And were you somebody that stood out? How was your life when you moved here?
Yeah, standing out, man. It's, there's not too many brothers out here, especially in the criminal justice program at Utah Valley University. But I ended up learning a lot because a smart man learned from his mistakes, but a wise man learned from others. So I had great examples around me in the state of Utah, how people will actually run a business, how people are amazing husbands and everything of that nature, because they literally exude the archetype of manhood out here, right? Provider, protector, supporter, a listener, the whole 9 yards. So that actually runs concurrent in the business world too.
Wow.
You get what I mean? Yeah. You have to be attentive. You have to be coherent. You have to listen. So just seeing how people are in the moment with their family and how they are in their business and how they treat their family, they actually treat their employees the same way. It's super dope, bro. Super dope, man. Like I said, Utah, it's an incredible place, man. And I think it's one of those golden nuggets that people don't know about.
So, tactical question, right? Like,
Yeah.
because we've been talking a lot about like high level things, but
Right.
like how did you find that market demand for what you're doing? And for the viewers watching, like, what is your business?
I call myself a fashion architect.
Okay.
Okay, so for me, when I create somebody's suit, I like to create their own story. So I like storytelling, right? I got my degree in criminal justice. I was gonna go to law school, and whatnot. My family's like, this is gonna be the lawyer and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I don't know about this. You know, I took the LSAT, and you know, my score was good for 5 years, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this out. Because we live in an era where, you know, you can build a business without brick, mortar, oil, steel. And you know, with all my designs I was making, it was great because like content is currency. You know, obviously when I was thinking about going to law school, one thing that makes a great lawyer is what? The best storyteller. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't care what it is. If you have a marketing plan, you gotta have a great story. So what I did was I actually accumulated all that and put that into the suits. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, let's create your own story. I want to make sure you look like an outlier. I don't want anybody to look like you. And so for me, it's like when I create these suits for people, I want them to feel like a gentleman warrior. You know what I mean? And so, you know, once they understand like the whole ABC rule, right? Which means always be closing, right? And I believe
You have a twist on that, right?
I do have a twist on that, right? I have the ABCD rule, right?
Which is?
Appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint.
All right, so with these flies, most people like to do them like this, but I learned from the late and great Charles Glass. I don't even know. Do you know who Charles Glass is?
No.
Yeah, man, he's one of the top bodybuilders out right now, but he tells you to stay here and just squeeze coming up.
Nice.
So you want to kind of move forward,
Nice.
completely open up your chest and come right back in.
Okay.
You don't even need to do heavy weight with this.
Oh, is that right, huh?
But nah, I mean, so while we're working out now, like, you know, a lot of people, you know, they think about business, but how did fitness, you know, if it did, affect anything in terms of like how you thought, your mentality when it came to business? Like,
Oh, yeah.
what did that do for you being in the gym all the time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, because, like, you know, it's, I think that goes hand in hand, like, in the fitness world. Because, you know, people don't understand, like, when you have an outfit, right? People don't understand that, right? You're supposed to be out and fit, okay? That's how it works. But a lot of people don't understand this because, like, I treat my body, you know, like a Ferrari. I treat it like a Porsche, okay? If it's running out of gas, you think I'm gonna put regular gas in there? No, I'm gonna put good gas. So that's the same way, you know, I treat my body, you know? This is me 365 days of the year. I make sure I always have a challenge every day. I challenge myself from pushing the sled, boxing, whatever. And so that's how you can always look unique, like in your suit. You know, you can be big or whatever, but like, you know, make sure you get that work in.
Well, man, as you're finishing up, this will be the last exercise we do, but I did want to, you know, part ways with asking you one of the more interesting questions. Who was somebody that you've suited up that you just like, the light switch, you were like, I'm really suiting up this person right now. Like,
man.
This is somebody of your dreams.
Oh, it has to be two. Because as we doing shoulders, Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard.
My boy's shoulders is, nah, bro, just crazy shoulders, man. Like his bone structure is so crazy, so unique. But that's what makes it unique. So when I'm creating something for him, it fits him, right? And then, you know, I want to give you a two-way answer, but Floyd Mayweather had to be the second.
Floyd.
Yeah, bro.
How was that experience like?
Bro, such a humble dude. Good brother,
Really?
man. Good man. Yeah, bro, just very humble. He's like my top 3 favorite athletes of all time. I don't think people understand that. Like, boxing is hard, right? Boxing is it's one of those sports where it's like, you know, anybody can be a fighter, right?
Yeah.
Cameraman can be a fighter, you can be a fighter, right? You know, all it takes is just swing your arms, right? A boxer is a man with the IQ. It's a thinking man sport. So that's why I do boxing all the time, because it's a gentleman's sport, you know what I mean? And so I like to keep all those mentality, you know, in my psyche and stuff like that. But answer your question, man, Dwight Howard and Floyd though, bro.
Those are some big time guys, man.
Yeah, man, good brothers, man, good dudes.
Well, man, it was a pleasure.
Appreciate you,
it was
man.
a pleasure. We'll
Seriously,
do this
bro.
again.
Oh, absolutely, man. Let's do round 2, man.
Absolutely.
All right, fam. Appreciate you, man.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. We're gonna do a lot more of these videos coming forward. So interviewing top entrepreneurs, top CEOs, people who own real businesses, especially here in Utah Valley. So feel free, if you're in the Utah Valley, if you know people Drop a comment below, tell me who you want to see and what you want to see, what kind of questions you want me to ask these CEOs and these entrepreneurs, and we'll keep it pushing. Thank you guys.